So, looks like he's content and stalling out the game. Not stalling, okay. Making me work out the game all the way to the end to get the cities. Um, I guess in a way it's practice for him on how to defend, which I can't, um, fault him on. I've done it before in games I was losing just to try some different things out to see what can work and what can not work and how well he can hold on to something. So he's just focused on trying to protect his Pacific here. He did build sub destroyer fighter, so he's got three that can help on the Pacific front, four infantry, two artillery, a tank, and a fighter can also help on the other front. So that's eight that can help on the land front. Um, I'm gonna be out producing him. He took Italy. I completely didn't even think about the fact that I was only leaving three there. It's gonna cost him a bomber. Um, I don't know that there's any benefit of that, other than it means I'll build three less ground, but I'm still gonna build 12, which is more than his eight. And as long as I'm producing more, and that's not counting Russia's builds, as long as I'm building them, what's it matter? And I'm gonna end up go ahead and taking Caucasus because I can go ahead and stack it. So, or at the very least trade it. I'm not even necessarily running calculators here at this point. Let's see. He could do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units that can hit it. I've got 5 Americans alone that can go in there, and then we can drive some of the We can drive the Russians down that way. Well, we can take out 2 of those by blocking with the 1 unit in here. We'll go ahead and start trading off that money. Why not? Um, I mean, we got superior numbers here, so we're just gonna go ahead and advance the front lines, even though we're taking away German territory. That's money going in our pockets at this point. So, any case, here we go. My buy. I'm gonna start with buying 12 infantry just to keep pumping. I don't know. I could probably start buying tanks and whatnot and timing for a hit on India or over here on Shanghai. I don't honestly know what the timing would be, so I do know wave after wave of men marching across the continent. He can't stop. So we're just going to play this out. That gives me 37 for building in the Pacific. So we'll remember that number. I built 37 IPCs worth in the Pacific. I think. Eh. Let's do a sub spam. What the heck? We'll buy an artillery there. And we're going to come over to here. I'm really just delaying over here, making him buy money, which is just going to make the front shrink even more. Send one extra one there because we're going to use these guys for killing there. Why didn't you drop your tank? Hold up. Go. Alright, up here. Just gonna plow it forward. Any other attacks? I don't think so. Here we go. Suppose I could have just done one infantry and saved it for attacking when that tank. Oh, good gracious! For when that tank counterattacks. But oh well, whatever. We'll leave him here so we can grab if we want. Yeah, he does still have this bomber here, so we don't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, so we need to still protect him. We'll just hang out. Do need to make sure my subs are not set to submerge. Fighter before carrier is fine. La di da da da. Nowhere forward to really put them yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can't get anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't get anywhere. Let's pull you guys on out. We go. Let's see, Russia, we're gonna get one more beyond what we got. We got 12. Oh wait, here we go. End of turn. 100 to 238. Yeah, he's making 53. I spent 36 on boats, so that would leave him to match me 17 to spend on ground. You know, U.S. is producing 74 all by itself. We're already 145 to 100, so it's just time. I did want to look at. We're currently at production 17. We're going to grab one, which will take us to 18, so we might as well spend our money. 5, 7, 6, 10. So yeah, we'll take them that way. So we'll go. Oh, you know what? Even though it's going to give him a little more extra income, it doesn't matter. But we'll block those tanks just from coming back in there. So that will give him 3, 4, 5 units. I've got 5 sitting there. We'll bring our UK. Oh no, we want our UK to go meet them. So we'll bring a couple of our Russian infantry this way. Here we want to be careful. He's got 4, 6 units that could hit there. Bring in 3. Actually, I'll be able to build up here. That's right. So 4, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6. with a 7. We'll bring a couple units down there to be safe. Actual add-on, so we'll send 2 more this way. I think we'll leave the fire back just in case the UK doesn't wipe them out. Because there's a chance that he could have a tank live. So, and we're going to build our Russian units here. I mean, if they don't, we'll leave our UK units back. Why do that? Don't be silly. No reason. Just because I want to attack and try and speed things up. There we go. Oh, what the heck. They're not really going to do anything else more useful. And there we go. Alright, continuing on into starting US 14. Real quick, he bought 2 fighters and some 8 ground. So his units are getting a little bit less. He did attack the C zone as well as Kaza and South Africa. South Africa was a freebie. Kaza was there. So Kaza, he took free. That was that. Okay, so I lost 2 subs, 2 fighters, 2 destroyers. He lost 2 destroyers, 2 subs, 3 fighters, a bomber, and a carrier, so definitely more loss to him. I am still standing, but he does have enough here, a carrier and 2 carrier destroyer, 2 fighters, that I can't really get to him because I've only got 2 carriers, 2 fighters, so I won't be able to attack him there. I will be able to kill this transport, which he did go ahead and load that up a little bit more, so getting that's going to be a little bit harder. It does make me kind of think I might change my buy a little bit now that I think about it. Although I'm hoping for these fighters, well, we'll just work our way. I mean, it may not even be the Philippines. It may be India, or it may be down here that we end up getting first, because although we could blitz our tanks through, um, we're just going to kill this guy. We're just playing this methodical. You know, I'm not rushing. So, anyways, I built my 14 out of the 15 ground out of there because that let me build 4 destroyers for the Pacific to continue to build this up. By the time these guys get back, you know, he's not going to be able to be building any grounds, and so this flood of units is just going to march across the continent. So we're going to try and play this relatively quickly here. I am going to take a 1, 2, 3 shot on these guys. Do want to take out his transport. Can't get the other transport, unfortunately. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure there's no other bombers around. He lost his 1 bomber in there, so yeah, so we should be good doing that. I mean, he can come back and attack there, and he probably will. It doesn't matter. Let's see. So, I'm not playing for the speed kill. I'm just playing for just march right down and win this. We're just going to do 1 round of combat on Kaza. Ugh. Three, 2, 3. That didn't go quite as well as I'd liked it to. I was hoping for a little better. We should still be fine, I believe, as far as the attacks go. I'm just pulling up my calculator real quick to see what it looks like for Russia on this. So we got 12, 13, is that right? So we got 6, 3, 9, 12, 13 coming in, attacking his 8. So yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be okay. Actually, we'll leave 1 tank here and bring 2 tanks in there, I think, is what we're going to end up doing. We should still be pretty good there. Yeah. All right. they're going to land them back here just to be safe, though. Don't want something crazy happening here. And march everybody across the world. He's got no planes that can get me, so I might as well get them where they can grab people. Not building people back in the US, so... Pretty straightforward, I mean, I had good dice there, I believe. But, I mean, the play is pretty straightforward here at this point. Oh yeah, I have nothing else to attack. For poor UK. UK's getting the boredom job. I'll just leave them there so he doesn't come back again. I don't think he would, but they're not going to get anywhere important before this game's over. So there we go. March across the continent. Okay, so he's just making this as hard as possible. Um, 8 infantry, 2 artillery, so he got 10 ground this time. 2 fighters purchased. He attacked C zone 59 and he killed it on a 12% shot. I had two carriers, 2 fighters over there. He sent 2 fighters and a bomber and destroyed them all and took out my transports. Psy hit Yaka. What's that? That's this guy up here, right? Is that Yaka? Yeah. Um, moved his guys into there for whatever. But anyway, so I'm buying my 15 men. Had enough 30 left over, so we're just gonna buy some more subs, and we're just gonna come on down here and try to see if we can't just start overwhelming, restricting him down here. Um, we'll space out our 6 subs all over the place, and well, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just pull our destroyers in there this turn, and then bring in our subs next time, and then yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. We're just gonna continue our march from west to east. I could blitz him in, except for he's got his tanks here. I could land my fighters in there, except for Japan. He'll have these 3 guys, these 2 guys. He's got 2 transports that he can grab 4 guys there, so he'll even destroy it if I go there with them. So for now, we just continue just plucking away. Don't think there's any other attacks here right now. Da 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 da. Trying not to overthink this right now. And let's see. Right here is a good spot for bombers. Okay, my cat's looking to help again. Thank you, Flash. I'd like to be able to see the screen. I'm sure I could have closed this out. There's ways I could have done this quicker. Um, got no doubt, but we're just not going to let anything just silly happen. We're just going to keep marching right on along. Rest of those will curve on down towards India so that India will be secured. I believe probably next time when we take our US and take India with these guys and with these guys, we should finish it, but we'll see. Alright, that's it. Quick, hopefully relative. Alright, so hopefully this should be the finale. We got 9 of 10. All we need to do is take India. He's got 9 units. I got 16 plus bomber and 4 fighters plus a couple transports I can bring on in here. So this should be the end right here. And I did put my buy in. I would, if I was going to continue, I'd buy 2 carriers because I've got 4 fighters out on the board that I could meet them with, and that's the best buy in my opinion when you have fighters on the board. So, go. And this should be game over here. There we go. And that's the ball game. Although we got to finish out the other moves real quick. I just didn't want to leave Egypt in Japan's hands. Plus a little fun infantry on infantry battle. Oh, he wipes. There we go. And the Marines take Egypt back. 10 to 10. We don't need to... Oh, well, we gotta land our planes, I guess. There we go. So that's the end game. Let's see. Was it game history? So, wow, he was Axis 24. So there we go. Only had 3 losses this season so far. Well, you know, I'll say this game, just kind of as a review, if you will. I'm gonna think back, kind of talk a little bit about what I think kind of transpired. So, as you go back, um, round 1, Russia, we lost a fair amount of infantry in West Russia. We lost all but 1 tank in Ukraine. He then did his Germany. He went C Zone 13, 10, and C Zone 7. He won 7 and 13. He lost 10. And then the big UK bit, C Zone 61, I lost both my cruiser and carrier without even hitting his destroyer at all. So that was a huge battle right there. Got us really behind. We were already a little bit behind, and then a little bit more behind because of Germany, and then that was really big. And then Japan went about neutral. So when Russia came back up on round 2, I was feeling like I needed to take a little bit of risk, and I attacked Ukraine, and ended up, it got down to, I believe I had an infantry and um, an artillery and a fighter versus 2 infantry, and I went ahead and took the battle. I hit both his infantry, but both his infantry hit back, and I lost a Russian fighter on round 2. So I was really had me reeling. From there, I tried to play some efficiency games, and I was just trying to be really tight on my movements and coordination, and streaming things around. But the reality is he had me on my heels, so to speak, and it was a long while. I started slowly clawing back up in the attack power evening, but then he did start to make a move to Africa, and he had good momentum going that way. And that is where I think the turning point was when he decided to go for Africa. He also tried to go for Moscow at the same time. And it was at a point in the game either he needed to just, go all in for Moscow and point everything that way, get Moscow, and then try to go to Africa, or he needed to go to Africa, bypass Moscow, stabilize Berlin, and then come back for Moscow. And the best way he could have done that is he had lots of tanks and fighters on the board. He was producing 2 tanks just like every turn coming out of here and a tank out of here. So he had lots of tanks and fighters. He had, I think he had Caucasus. One or the other of these was stacked. And of course, tanks could jump from one to the other and then get into here. And then he had West Russia. It was Caucasus. He had Caucasus stacks. That's right. Um, if he would have just got his Japan tanks and fighters here to Ukraine, he could have then just been using a calculator. If I was getting ready to get too much pressure on Berlin, he slides a few over and take his advantage of taking Africa. Then he would have had the income advantage, and he could have just kept producing units and sliding them over, slide them up to tanks and fighters Ukraine, slide into Berlin when they needed to, and then once it got high enough, go ahead and then they could also come through from Ukraine and attack Moscow and go that route. That's what I think they should have done. Instead, they came this way. They got impatient. They took an early shot on Moscow. That was kind of a Hail Mary-ish type shot. Lost bad. Lost all their tanks and fighters and bombers, um, and had a bad loss. At the same time, even when things were starting to crumble for him, the term that U.S. had a 95% chance to take Berlin, if he would have flown his three bombers that he had sitting in Germany out of there and built, I think it was like four bombers and a fighter in India, and four bombers to put in the other territories, and then moved all his tanks to within range of Moscow, I calculated he would had an 80% shot on Moscow then that I couldn't get back to. But he didn't. He let those bombers just get destroyed in Berlin, and he didn't build out the Air Force or bring the tanks back. Instead, the tank continued to try to take Africa, which obviously, once it started to turn, I was able to just easily take Africa back. So I think that was the turning point when he tried to tried to play the income game by going for Africa, while also trying to play the short game by going to Moscow first instead of playing the long game, getting situated, and then just playing defensive while he gained the income and then slowly brought the units up until he was ready to take Berlin, or excuse me, Moscow. So I think that was a turning point, and then he just started crumbling after that. All right, time to head for the next one.